in your retirement account with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now or visit AdvantageGold.com and get your free Gold IRA guide. Consult with your financial and tax professionals before making investment decisions. Call 800-900-8000.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Tiny Greenland is a source of ongoing tension between the United States and Denmark.
The top U.S. diplomat in Denmark has been summoned by the government after reports that people connected to President Donald Trump have been carrying out covert influence operations in Greenland. Danish broadcaster DR reported on Wednesday that at least 3 Americans have been involved in these operations. They allegedly compiled lists of U.S.-friendly Greenlanders and tried to influence local politics. The Danish Security and Intelligence Service believes Greenland is a target for influence campaigns. The U.S. State Department says the Deputy Chief of Mission in Copenhagen had productive talks with Danish Foreign Ministry officials and reaffirmed their strong ties. The department declined to comment on what it called the actions of private U.S. citizens in Greenland. I'm Karen Chamas.
Iran's currency at a record low now. Concerns over the reimposition of UN sanctions. Townhall.com. Low-value imports are losing their duty-free status in the U.S.
It's part of President Trump's agenda for making the nation less dependent on foreign goods. A widely used customs exemption for international shipments worth $800 or less is set to end starting on Friday. Having to pay import taxes on small parcels likely will be a big change for some small businesses and online shoppers. Purchases that previously entered the U.S. without needing to clear customs will be subject to the origin country's tariff rate, which can range from 10 to 50%. John Scott reporting.
Japan's top trade bargainer has abruptly canceled a visit to Washington aimed at issuing a joint statement on a tariff deal. A top government spokesman says a trade envoy canceled the trip because there are some details of a potential deal that require further discussion. More on these stories at townhall.com.
One of our goals at Caledonian is to impact our clients and friends in a positive manner. Whether it's a friendly voice, a smile, and a wave as you walk past our office, or supporting our community, the Caledonian team is actively involved. Through our memberships in Kiwanis, Rotary, Murray Alliance Circle of Excellence, volunteering in Boy Scouts and 4-H, serving on a variety of boards, and more, we stay connected to Murray County. This is Perry Bowman with Caledonian Financial in historic downtown Columbia.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Inc., member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey, this is Drake and my dog Carl from the Front Porch Sports Radio Hour. Summer heat in southern Middle Tennessee is no joke, and your animals feel it too. With record-setting temperatures and high humidity, it's critical to keep your pets and livestock cool, shaded, and hydrated. Make sure they have constant access to clean water, shelter from the sun, and never leave them in a parked car, not even for a minute. Take care of your animals like family, because they're counting on you.
Buicks of today are among the most dependable and luxurious vehicles in America, and Parks Motor Sales has them all. Find excellent deals on the Buick Envista. Parks has SUVs, the Encore, Enclave, and Envision. Their exceptional staff can help you find your best fit with financing for your budget. For a vehicle that has everything, experience the new Buick. For a dealer that has everything, experience Parks Motor Sales. Visit 919 Nashville Highway or parksmotorsales.com.
Hello, I'm Barbara Lincoln with Hollins Pharmacy. You may have heard our previous commercials about compression hosiery that we carry at Hollins Pharmacy. Well, we've recently expanded into a full line of knee braces, back, wrist, ankle, and other support wear. We will gladly help you get just the right fit for these items and, of course, special order items to ensure the proper fit. Come see us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane, or call us at 931-388-4233. 388-4233.
Hi, I'm Steve, the garbage man. By now you all know about Don, our service truck guy. Well, let me tell you about another member of our service team, and that's Mike Ashley. He's the guy you'll talk to when you call the office. Just call and talk to Mike one time at 931-540-0919, and you'll see why we're lucky to have him here at the Garbage Man. Thanks, Mike, for all you do to keep the Garbage Man first in service. That's 931-540-0919.
You're not just a homeowner, you're also an ice maker that didn't read the job description owner. Fortunately, you've got heating and cooling built and tested to keep going. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090 for all your home comfort needs. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local independent American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has worked hard for their customers and provided the highest quality jewelry at the best price. They keep going back. Recent renovations have allowed them to expand their inventory. More high-quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. They also buy gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still great service. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
What's your favorite radio station?
101.7 WKOM.
Oh!
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, and what I say you must obey.
Live from the WKOM studio in downtown Columbia, it's time to wake up and get woke. It's Three Dudes with a View.
Let's get it all!
Okay, we are here, Three Dudes with a View. My name is Del Kennedy. I'm dude number 3. This is our Thursday edition, our last show of the week. Tomorrow morning, inside Middle Tennessee with Jim Ross. And we will be back with you on Tuesday. Yeah. Monday's Labor Day. All right. Dude number 1. No, dude number 2, Clayton Harris. Good morning.
Good morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
Dude number 1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning.
Good morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mr. York. All right, 25 years my colleague in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Nashville as an assistant United States attorney. Mike Roden, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
All right, regular special guest dude, Debbie Matthews.
Good morning, friends.
Good morning, Debbie. And native son, favorite son of Columbia, 1977 graduate of Columbia Central High School, Ron Hart.
Good morning.
And son of Ron Hart, Jeb Hart, good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Okay.
We got a full house.
Yes, we do. And I get, I hate even talking about this, but the shooter in Wisconsin,
Minnesota,
whatever. Minnesota. Apparently a whack job of a state, and this fellow was a whack job as well. The shooter, he
don't misgender, Del.
Yeah. Well, they're all God's children, deserve our love, but
it's a trend.
It's obvious by now that the people who are undergoing a transition are disturbed and many times can be dangerous.
That hasn't been confirmed, Del. That has not been confirmed.
He changed his name in 2019 with his mother at the courthouse to Robin.
It hasn't been confirmed.
Oh, my God. There is your grand delusion right there.
Okay, now, hold on. Here's my question. It was reported that he said that he wrote at one point that he identified as a woman. Is there any indication that he was actually undergoing any kind of transition?
I don't know.
Pretty much where you are, though.
No.
Okay, well that's
the authority said it wasn't confirmed.
Let's be accurate. Let's be accurate.
You're going to nuance that.
He's a man. He's a man that went into school and shot some children.
A white male.
Had his name changed.
Caucasian male.
He didn't go in a school, Jim.
Now you're going to drive white nationalist. Wasn't he, Miss York?
He didn't.
Caucasian male. I don't know if he's a white nationalist or what, but he killed some kids.
Father.
Listen to what they found on his guns. He had engravings on his guns.
Handwriting.
Where is your God?
Yeah.
Israel must fall.
Yep.
Nuke India.
Mm-hmm.
Suck on this and kill Donald Trump.
Well, you're still a man then.
He also said some very
Wonder who he voted for.
Anti-Semitic things. He said some racist things. He was crazy.
Yeah.
Can we just all admit that he was crazy?
Yeah, I think that's good enough.
When is this country going to institute a plan to get all these people off the street? Reagan put them all on the block. Reagan put them all on the block when he was in. He closed all the mental institutions.
Carter didn't take the Medell.
You all know crazy people around y'all, but you
Carter
won't
let
say
all the
nothing
crazy
about it.
Cubans in. Didn't Carter, your President Carter, let all the Cubans in and then Morel
Talking
boat
about
lift?
Cuban. We talking about Americans
Hey,
that were in
Jim.
Well, you know, we
facilities,
can talk about
mental
anything we want to talk.
facilities
You don't tell us what we
that
talk
Reagan
about.
closed.
Jim, Donald Trump said within the last 4 weeks that he is reopening mental hospitals across the country.
Well, he should.
That's right.
So you're
Scott
saying
Pickney said something about doing 9 different mental health facilities in Tennessee, but I haven't heard anything else about it.
so you admit the guy's mentally ill.
Well, yes, let's all agree he was mentally ill. He said a lot of crazy things. He hated apparently a lot of people, and
Hated everybody.
hated everybody.
His,
Yeah, he's
his target
crazy.
for target shooting was the picture of Jesus Christ.
Well,
you-
that's
do you-
awful. That's awful. He was crazy. I mean,
Do you think
no
if-
disagreement.
Do you think if they open up, like as I said, in 4 weeks, the mental facilities to a higher capacity, and you're saying get these people off the streets, they need help. A lot of them don't want it. I mean, I feel like there's definitely an incoming people being very upset that people are being, quote, stolen off the street. Like that's a telegraphed narrative punch.
Well, I think there would be doctors' orders saying that they need to be committed. I mean, you're right. You can't just snatch people off the streets, but I think you could say let's send them to a mental health evaluation, and if doctors say this person does not belong in polite society,
Yeah, where is that line legally, Mike? I don't know where the legal line is.
Ron, that's been the trouble, and Miss York is right in part. The trend in the mental health profession in the late 70s and early 80s, they all came to the conclusion that institutionalization was not the right thing to do. And
Because One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was real popular.
yeah, and so that's they all turned to outpatient treatment. Now,
Great film.
as a prosecutor and a defense lawyer, this was very frustrating to me because, many of my, a lot of people who were being prosecuted were not really, they were mentally ill. They weren't criminals, but there was absolutely nothing you could do to have them locked up or held for a while.
So where's the barrier in, like, obviously there's people who plead insanity for like murder cases, but are you allowed to plead them insanity? Like they're not fit to stand trial as such. They have to go.
Well, that's a little different.
Delk, I had a cousin. This is a personal story. I had a cousin that stayed in a VA mental institution for 30 years until Reagan got in office, closed the facility, and put him out on the street.
Well, that's what it was.
He was not a violent person. All he would do was pace up and down. The only way he had a place to live is his sister. He lived with his sister. He would pace up and down. He'd walk 5, 6, 10 miles every day, just walking. But he was not a violent person.
Well, Miss York,
I knew that.
You're right, except that Reagan didn't do it. The profession itself decided that outpatient treatment was correct, and they just quit. They're the ones. The profession closed all the institutions, and many times I had patients that
I think Reagan closed the VA facilities. And
VA facilities.
The federal
well,
facility.
but it happened industry wide in the mental health industry, and
it did.
So it was just very
40
frustrating.
years later, it was Reagan's fault.
And there was some abuse too, Delk. Don't forget that. Some people just admitted their parents, their cousins and stuff to take their assets. Yeah, there was some abuse going on.
Oh, there was definitely some abuse going on, and people institutionalized, forever who shouldn't be. I mean, there was reasons that the fashion and the mental health industry switched to outpatient treatment. But I had a lady down in Linville she was a little old lady, drove a Cadillac, and she was stealing all the flowers from the grave in the Linville cemetery. And, everybody was wondering what was happening to the flowers. They'd go out and decorate the graves. The flowers would be all gone. And one day they knock on her door, and the whole house is full of flowers. And but they charged her with a crime, and because there was no other, she was obviously mentally ill, but they didn't have a choice but to charge her with a crime. It was the only tool they had available to try to stop it. And so,
it's a multifaceted problem. There's no single solution. Institutionalization is maybe a solution for the worst people, the most, again, the ones who are violent or have the capacity for violence. But it's not a solution for everybody. There are lots of people who don't belong in those places.
Well, there needs to be a process.
It's an individual type thing, and that's hard to get our hands around.
Yeah, well, Mike
is
like
the
female that's here. Female here in Columbia, she walks up and down Troutwood, but she'll go occasionally in the food line and have the whole staff at the front door because she's cussing like a sailor, everybody.
Well, the judge kept sending this little old lady who stole flowers in Linville out to the mental health place out there by the hospital back then, and they
we can all agree that there's people that need help, and there has to be a sort of force to make them do it, because things like the Dunning-Kruger effect, where you have to have a certain amount of competence to realize that you are dumb, and the same applies to being insane. You have to have enough self-recognition and self-awareness to recognize I need help. If you think you're fine, you're never going to voluntarily do it.
I think a lot of judges will divert, though. The lady will cuss at the food line, let's say. That's where you're disrupting disorderly conduct. It's a misdemeanor. If you'll divert yourself to a mental health institution, then you won't go to jail. I think most of them would take the mental health institution.
Well, the judge kept sending
judges need to do that.
But we need a facility that's going to actually treat people, not give them 2 pills and keep them 3 days and send them home.
We can't even keep them 3 days.
It's expensive.
Doug, you're talking about Centerstone, right? I think that's what you were.
These days it'd be Centerstone. That's the mental. They've got the state of Tennessee's mental health contract. Miss York, you can't even keep them 3 days. You just got to give them the pills and send them home. That's what the law is. And the judge kept sending this little old lady from Linville out to the mental health center, and that's exactly what would happen. They give her 2 pills and send her home. And
we got all these smart congressmen. Won't we get them to write up the laws and the guidelines?
Well, they have.
Sounds like something for RFK Jr. if he wants to try to make us healthy again. Hey, tackle this. This sounds like a great problem.
He can't even keep a CDC director.
Now,
He's don't write.
He's trying to talk about these drugs. They give them narcotics now. But also remember, the Kennedys, they did a lobotomy on one of the sisters.
That's true.
Absolutely. So he's got some skin in the game. This should be an issue that
they used to do lobotomies. Yeah.
What do you guys think about him possibly banning transgender surgeries like Great Britain has? They call it barbaric.
Well,
we've done that in Tennessee.
The Catholic schools in Minnesota had approached Tim Walz within the last year begging for more protection, and Tim Walz ignored them. This story's coming out. And instead, he made Minnesota a sanctuary state for transgender people where you can come without parental consent and have a surgery done in Minnesota. Now,
you know what?
That is going on.
Bashing them.
I'm not bashing anybody, Jim. I'm stating a fact. This is what Tim Walz did. He made it a trans sanctuary state. Instead of helping the Catholic schools get more security. Now, secondly, there's something else that to me is needing some attention. The DNC convention is going on in Minneapolis right now. And in the past 24 hours of this shooting, there have been mass shootings all over Minneapolis. Somebody got out in the middle of the street and mowed down like 6 people, one of which died. And it might have been this same guy. They don't know. They hadn't caught this guy yet. But you got the DNC going on in Minneapolis. You've got all these shootings within 24 hours. The last count was 4 shootings in 24 hours. There's something going on because even this guy said the Democrats need to get more violent. He wrote that somewhere, okay? These things to me are connected, all of them, with the DNC.
Why don't we bash gay folks like Bessett, that's the Secretary of Treasury, instead of bashing transgender people? Won't we give them equal opportunity if you're going to bash anybody?
Why would we bash anybody?
The Secretary of Treasury. And second of all, gay people generally are just fine citizens of the community and don't go around shooting
just like transgender people are.
No, Miss York. All right, let's take a break and come back.
People are people. regardless of what kind of tag
we are going to break.
On.
This is the greatest radio station, the most highly respected radio station in southern Middle Tennessee. We love it. 3 Dudes with a View, and we'll be right back.
Parks Motor Sales is our area's premier GMC dealership. Their lot at 919 Nashville Highway has an impressive selection of GMC vehicles, trucks from the light-duty GMC Canyon to the Sierra 3500 heavy-duty and everything in between. GMC's SUVs are impressive with the Terrain, Acadia, and Yukon. Want luxury? Ask about Denali Upgrades. Go to parksmotorsales.com for information and see their awesome offers and services. Parks Motor Sales GMC. We are professional grade.
We at Hollins Pharmacy must be doing something right. We've been providing pharmaceutical services in the Middle Tennessee area for over 60 years. The guiding principles of our business are fast, accurate, friendly, personal service. We do not have long waiting lines, and our phone calls are answered by a staff member. We strive to get to know our customers by name, not just a date of birth or number. We are your locally owned hometown pharmacy, and we appreciate your business. We urge you to come visit us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane here in Columbia.
Hi, I'm Steve, the Garbage Man. Over 10 years ago, the Garbage Man Incorporated teamed up with former County Commissioner Mr. Glenn Hassey and Keep Murray County Beautiful to provide garbage service for the 8 boat ramps. The county brought in signs and posts, and we provided the carts and weekly service. The Garbage Man Incorporated is proud to be a part of furnishing a much-needed service to the boaters of Murray County. We live in Murray County, too, and are proud to be good corporate citizens. We encourage you to use and enjoy this convenience and keep the Duck River beautiful.
You're not just a homeowner, you're also an ice maker that didn't read the job description owner. Fortunately, you've got heating and cooling built and tested to keep going. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call Davis Heating and Cooling at 931-388-2090 for all your home comfort needs. Davis Heating and Cooling is your local independent American Standard dealer and proudly serves the Murray County area. Find Davis Heating and Cooling online and on Facebook or call today, 388-2090.
For 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has worked hard for their customers and provided the highest quality jewelry at the best price. They keep going back. Recent renovations have allowed them to expand their inventory. More high-quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. They also buy gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still great service. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
The generations that have paved the way for us deserve respect, integrity, and compassion. This is Kelly Dobson, owner of Caring Hearts Home Healthcare. My grandmother and mother started this business in 2005, and I was honored to take over in 2012. Licensed and insured, we help our aging community stay in the comfort of their own homes. Online at CaringHeartsHomeHealthcareLLC.com, by phone 931-381-5470, or in person at 1121 Trotwood Avenue here in Columbia. That's Caring Hearts Home Healthcare.
Hey, this is Seth Moss at Tennessee Valley Equipment, a premier FAE PrimeTech, Bandit, and Surex dealer. We are your dealer for all of your land clearing and forestry mulching needs. We sell equipment, provide repair service, and parts along with a rental fleet of mulching equipment. We also offer mulching teeth, blades, and sharpening. Our number one priority is getting you up and running as quickly and affordable as possible. Tennessee Valley is located at 300 Santa Fe Pike in wonderful Columbia, Tennessee. Stop by or give us a call today at 931-981-9812.
Farmer Johnny here, Taylor Family Farm. I want to give y'all a little look-see. We raise 100% non-GMO, grass-fed beef, pasture chicken, and pork on our family farm. Everything that we grow is raised with love and care to ensure the highest quality and nutrition for our family and customers. You can shop online at TaylorFamilyFarmTN.com or visit our farm store in person at Etheridge, Tennessee at 301 Dave Reisner Road. That's TaylorFamilyFarmTN.com for more information.
The Murray County Fair is back, bigger and better than ever, from August 28th through September 1st at the Murray County Park. Stroll through the barn and be amazed at our spectacular livestock shows. Then get ready to light up the night on our dazzling midway, packed with thrilling rides for all ages. Feel the need for speed? Don't miss our heart-pounding motorsports events in the back arena. Food, friends, and family fun. It's all at the Murray County Fair. Get all the details on ride specials and event schedules at our website, murraycountyfair.org. Murray County Fair, where tradition meets thrill.
This is Mark Curry at the Trailer Store. We are a local, family-owned business. Every day, I work with my wife, Susie, my mother, Becky, and my son, Justin. We offer a full line of lawnmower trailers, utility trailers, stock trailers, and a full line of trailer parts. We also offer service. Come see us at 1021 New Lewisburg Highway. Call us at 931-381-2795. That's 931-381-2795.
Hello, this is Terry Tillis from Tillis Jewelry. Men, this is for you. Stop and listen. Every woman has a secret desire to have diamonds. I can say this because I am a woman. When I put on my ring or put on my earrings that my husband gave me, I feel special. Stop by Tillis Jewelry, downtown Columbia. Let us help you find a special diamond just for her.
Hi, I'm Morgan Luck, a local licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Columbia, Tennessee. Turning 65 and choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-586-9906 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, virtually by phone or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Service and product availability may vary by state. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Columbia Foodland is a locally owned and operated family grocery store with a full line of dry, dairy, frozen, meat, and produce items. We focus on keeping the freshest hand-cut meat and produce items daily with the most competitive prices in town. We offer weekly ad specials as well as in-store weekly specials throughout the store. Located at 427 West 7th Street in Columbia in the former Harris Foodland location. Columbia Foodland. We are here and ready to serve the wonderful people of Columbia and the surrounding areas.
That's where we are, folks, right here in the Love Shack. My name is Del Kennedy. I am Good
morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
Food number one, Mr. Jim York.
Good morning, Del. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mr. York. 25 years, my colleague in the United States Attorney's Office in Nashville. His blood runs deep blue. Mike Roden.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Blue blood.
Yep. Native son, favorite son of Columbia, Ron Hart. Good morning.
Good morning.
And son of Ron Hart, Jeb Hart. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. And regular special guest dude here, Debbie Matthews. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, folks. You know, how bad and Ms. York's right, the mental health system in the United States changed to a different model in the late 80s, and the profession just decided as a group that inpatient treatment for these folks was not appropriate. And so, you know, Mr. Lork, you're talking about Tennessee law changed. The legislature absolutely adopted it, where, you know, you just could not institutionalize anybody even for 3 days. You just had to give them a couple pills and send them home. And down in Pulaski, we had a case, this is 35 years ago, where the man, you know, who lived in a neighborhood down there would come out and just shout at the neighbors that he was going to kill them, and, you know, over and over, and the police would go out there and, you know, they'd talk to the guy, but they couldn't do a thing. And sooner or later, he fired up a chainsaw and went over next door and cut his neighbor's head off with it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
Yeah. And so that's
Tennessee chainsaw murder.
Yeah. I mean, so that's the state of the law in Tennessee now. And, you know,
well, as often happens when we have a problem with something, and I think there probably was too much institutionalization in the 80s.
And
before
the 80s, mostly back in the 50s and 60s, Mike, 40s.
Exactly. And I think so, as what often happens, we have an overreaction, which causes more problems.
Yeah, there was Clover Bottom was an institution in Nashville where, you know, they actually confined these folks and kept them, you know, kept them confined to Clover Bottom. Of course, Clover Bottom was closed in the late 70s, I think, somewhere in there, in the 70s, I believe. So it just leaves, you know, us without the tools to address adequately these severely mental health folks.
Yeah, one of the problems I think most of these towns, and I started Chattanooga Police Foundation, and we've found it to be true, like Nashville or Knoxville will send us their mental health problems because they're on the streets and the cops are being called out to, like you said, pull them out of the food line or whatever they're doing. They're just a drain of police trying to mitigate whatever they're up to. course, they're an eyesore too. If you bring a company here to, and they're walking down the street and the shopping carts and stuff like that. So there's that. What they do is they talk to them and give them a $150 bus ticket to, another town like Chattanooga or Atlanta or wherever, get them out of their town and let them be a burden to the other cities.
Yeah, Ron, we call that bus therapy, where they,
bus therapy,
buy a ticket to one-way ticket somewhere else.
When you run into a situation and a tragedy like what happened, people tend to make it about whatever it was they already believed it to be about. People who hate guns make it about that. People who are uncomfortable with, transition therapy make it about that. But none of these things are actually helpful towards the issue. So and I think what we're doing here in addressing the idea of the problems with mental health and the care of it and the ability to, in a humane way, help the people that need the help, even if they don't know it. And that's policy that can actually be enacted. And that's something that can be, bipartisanly addressed.
But for 100 years,
we can address what American people want to address if they put their heads to it. We're one of the biggest nations in the world, one of the most powerful nations. I hear that all the time. We're the best nation in the world, and we can't solve the problem of our kids getting killed.
No one can.
On a regular basis.
Well,
I think we can do better.
So the DSM or whatever the mental health guidelines have been for 100 years, the book has always said that gender dysphoria is a mental illness. And for some reason, all of a sudden, we've decided that it's not. And so the Uvalde shooter was trans, the Denver shooter was trans, the Georgia shooter was trans, the Nashville shooter was trans, the Colorado shooter was trans, the Aberdeen shooter was trans, the Minnesota shooter was trans, the Iowa shooter was gender fluid, and the Philadelphia shooter was trans. Now,
is there a trend here?
There is a trend because there's such a minute percentage of the population that this is just a crazy amount of people.
Part of it, Debbie, too, is that for a long time, they've been trans forever, and they weren't shooting everything up 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. They weren't doing it back then.
Right.
So I think
was trans in the news like it is every day now?
That's what I'm saying. I think the left has angered these people, much like they have the African Americans about they got a bad shake and the Republicans are against you and the religions against you. And they keep fanning the fires of anger. MSNBC and the
no, they don't fan.
They do very much so. They very much so. Trans rights, how they've been screwed over.
That's the major league projection right there. All the hate is coming from the right.
Where's the hate?
Exactly.
Who cares?
He just did it.
What are you talking about? Are you saying that this is hate? Saying that this is fact? This is fact, Mike.
Where's the hate in what Debbie's saying?
Hang on.
One at a time.
We have always had trans people. It's just been in the last 50 years. I can remember when the first surgery was back in the 60s. It's only been in the last 50 some odd years that you could do something about it.
But the last 5 years when the shootings
Mike, we also had, before trans bashing, there was gay bashing.
But wasn't didn't the medical community say this was a mental illness up until 10 years ago?
That's the science. That's the science.
No, gays didn't shoot things. They would.
Great Britain has banned this.
I would like to point out
most of the mass shooters have been angry white men. Are we going to demonize white men now?
I would like to point out. I'd like to point out
problem in America.
What we ought to do is
exactly what I said would happen. People will make it about what they already want it to be about, because being the trans issue and then the idea of that being on the DSM-5 and all of those things for a long time. That means that falls under the category of mental health. It's one of the many reasons that somebody could have a mental disorder, but narrowing it down to one thing that is a significantly more hot in the streets issue.
Yeah, we ought to just let people live. Quit putting tags
then tell them to quit shooting people, Jim. They're the ones shooting people.
Are you libertarian?
Should you tell someone who's schizophrenic that the walls really are talking?
People.
Exactly,
Jim. One at a time, people.
Let them live.
Yeah, but Mr. York, do you tell somebody with schizophrenia that, no, you're right, the walls are talking to you? There's a level of, like we're talking about the mental health aspect.
That's right.
No clinician should lose their license if you affirm anything. That's not your job as a psychiatrist, is to listen to get them to go there, not to be like, no, you're right.
Right.
Well, if you got treatments and mental facilities for people, you could take care of some of that, Jeff. I'm not going to say you're going to take care of all of it.
Lock them up in a mental facility. On the other hand, you say let them live.
Lock them up. But I'm saying
Put them
give
in
them
off
some
the street.
streets.
They
One
can't
at a time,
leave.
people. One at a time, Mr. York.
How do you reconcile
every time we have a school
let people
shooting-
live?
Every time we have a school shooting or a mass shooting at some other place, mental health is always brought up, as it should be. But it's worth noting that the last time this came up in Congress, 205 Republicans, the vast majority of Republicans, voted against expanding mental health services in schools. So y'all don't walk the walk. You talk the talk, but you don't walk the
Oh,
walk.
you know what they did do, Mike? They put in security guards. They hired these service officers. They go about it a different way. They just fight fire with fire.
Mike,
the
what-
bill that you're,
Somehow you're going to have mental health's going to help a kid do. No, I don't think that would have worked.
the bill that you're discussing,
Yeah.
the reason was when the having it in the schools, it was during kind of this uptick in these sort of items where, you know, if you went in and talked to a counselor, they could affirm your gender and not tell your parents and that sort of thing that bothered people and didn't want that happening. So to blanket it as just because that does fall underneath the way some people could potentially call it mental health. And
The
so
killing we had in Columbia a couple of months ago, everybody said this person was weird. But nobody did nothing about it.
What are you going to do with
And he
somebody
wind up
weird?
killing
It's weird.
somebody.
A lot of
Nobody
people
will do anything about it, Mr.
People
York.
say I'm weird.
come after me.
yeah,
There's no law that
Well,
allows you
I
to
don't
there's
need
other
that.
adjectives that they use, but I'm not going to repeat them on the air. But
That's all right.
you know, he should have been somehow he should have been cited. And if we've had good intentions in helping people with their mental health, he should have had some opportunities to get some counseling or something.
and if we as a
Mr. York,
society
Mr. York,
didn't
free counseling is available here, but you can't make them go.
Right.
Yeah, and Mike,
And,
you talk about
and
the
that's where
Republicans voted down.
society has to deal with that issue of how freedom is freedom.
Okay, well, you should have all the
state
answers.
of the law in Tennessee right now is you can't make them go.
Right,
Judge
and Mike
can't.
said about the Republicans, you know, voting down mental health. Would you rather, if your kid was in school, would you rather have a mental health counselor who's going to be probably worthless, or a security guard with an AR or a pistol at the front door?
Okay, brother. Well,
Which one would you rather have?
Ron, I think you need.
I don't think we need to have ARs in
They had the
schools.
mental health counselor. In most cases, I think
rather have a counselor?
School. What else
Really?
you got?
Than a guy with a gun at the front door?
That's why we got SROs, Ron, at every
a guy
school.
with a gun is not
That's
the
what I'm
answer.
saying. The Republicans funded that. Which one would you rather have, Mike?
Republicans didn't fund no
I think
SROs.
in most cases, I think I'd rather have the school counselor. A guy with a big gun is not the answer to every problem, Ron.
It's
well,
the answer in the moment.
there's also two answers to the problem. There's the way to fix it long term and address the root cause of the problem that is doing it. And then
need
there's the
both.
gun one, which stops the things. Because somebody who's 18 years old wants to shoot up a school is not going to go into a singular session with a counselor and be like, oh, good point. So,
Yeah,
you
we
gotta
need
fix it
all of the
long-term
above.
and-
Do you know how many
I want-
threats of
I wanna
violence they had against schools in the last couple of weeks?
Well, I know. Yeah, there's been
Most
like
of them are they're
hoaxes.
swatting them. What they're
Countries
doing.
don't
Yeah.
have this.
So this is my question. This mother of this man, because he was 23 years old, the mother of this man was celebrated as a school employee or something with the school. She was affiliated with the school somehow. But at what point are we holding parents responsible for these actions? There's a whole county in New Jersey, and I talked about this with District Attorney Brent Cooper when he's on the show, that will air next weekend, on should parents be held responsible for their children's actions. Now, this kid is now 23, so he's an adult, but a lot of counties are looking at, if you are underage and you do something like this, that the parents are criminally held responsible, not just civilly.
That's
Debbie, when people know in the community that they have people that have difficulty mentally, everybody just passes it along like, oh, he's just crazy.
That's
the law,
he's
Mr.
funny.
York.
Is Trump derangement syndrome?
And I know that
It needs to be in the book.
that's what we got to work on, Delph. This society's got to deal with it.
Well, I think the law.
We
needs
can't
to
just say
change.
that's the law and leave it alone.
Well,
Innocent kids continually getting killed in school.
To do anything about it, you got to change the law.
That's the point. Complaining about something that's not feasible and fixable. So like Ethan Crumbly's parents were tried and convicted. So it's doable to have
Actually,
gross
there's been
negligence.
2 families that have been tried and convicted, and they're both white. Okay,
Yeah, and
have not-
your
white.
son's weird.
Why are you
You know
bringing
your son's
race
got
into
problems.
it?
You got to lock up
One
your
time.
guns.
Why
Your
are you
son's got
bringing
problems.
race into it?
because
Why are you
I'm
bringing-
not
Why
seeing
is
any black
race into
families
it?
being held responsible for kids gang banging in the streets and killing people.
All right,
Well,
let's take a
that's
break.
good analogy.
Look, it's an individual situation. Not it.
Saying give thanks and This is Barry Duke, and you're listening to 101.7 WKOM Columbia.
We are going to break at WKOM. This is the greatest radio station, the most highly respected radio station in southern Middle Tennessee. We love it.
Looking for that classic, can't-miss memory-making fun for the whole family? The wait is over. The Maury County Fair is back, bigger and better than ever, from August 28th through September 1st at the Maury County Park. Stroll through the barn and be amazed at our spectacular livestock shows. See the champion goats, sheep, cattle, and hogs raised by local future farmers. Then get ready to light up the night on our dazzling midway, packed with thrilling rides for all ages, from the wildest spins to the classic Ferris wheel. Feel the need for speed? Don't miss our heart-pounding motorsports events. It's a week of mudslinging, engine revving excitement that'll have you on the edge of your seat. And as the sun goes down, the music heats up. Tap your boots to the best local bands and musicians every night. It's the soundtrack to your perfect fair-going experience. Food, friends, and family fun. It's all at the Maury County Fair. Get all the details on ride specials and event schedules at our website, maurycountyfair.org. That's maurycountyfair.org. The Maury County Fair, where tradition meets thrill.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
A1 Tree Removal is there for the community in times of need. If you have fallen trees or broken branches and limbs that you need removed, contact A1 Tree Removal. Licensed and insured, A1 Tree Removal is a family-owned business that is locally owned and operated. If you have trees down and need help today, call or text Luke at 931-359-3113. That's 931-359-3113. Give A1 Tree Removal a call or check them out on Facebook today for all of your tree servicing needs.
This is Del Kennedy, Front Porch Radio. Today I'm in beautiful downtown Columbia. I'm at Foodland. They've got a new sale paper out with all sorts of good deals in it. I'm talking with Bobby Howell, your hometown grocer. Bobby, what is going on at Foodland this week?
We got ribeye steaks, $8.99 a pound, ground beef, $3.99 a pound, pork spare ribs, 2-pack for $1.79 a pound, seedless watermelons, $3.99, russet potatoes, 8-pound bag, $2.99, cucumbers and bell peppers, 69 cents each. Kraft barbecue sauce, 4 for $5. Wright's bacon, $8.99 for a 1.5 pound pack. Corn, 2 for $1. Milo's tea, 3 for $10, and other great sales.
All right, that's just a sampling of the great deals in the sale paper this week at Foodland. Don't forget, folks, they have got the best meat department in Maury County. Bobby Howell, have a great week.
Thank you and God bless.
This is Debbie Matthews with the Nashville Realty Group, and if you've been paying attention, you know the housing market has been tough, but rates are beginning to thaw. So if you're thinking about selling, the time to jump in is getting better every day. But if you're thinking about buying, and those interest rates are still a little bit too high, a good agent knows how to negotiate interest rate buy-downs, and I'm a good agent. So call me, Debbie Matthews with Nashville Realty Group, 615-476-3224.
Some people are just obsessed with their lawns. They'd cut their grass with a pair of scissors if they could. Thanks to Gravely, they don't have to. You see, Gravely makes not only the best built and most comfortable lawnmowers, they also leave your house looking like a doggone country club. So whether you're a commercial landscaper wanting the best or just a perfectionist homeowner, you can't do better than a Gravely.
See our full line of Gravely products at Maury County Equipment, 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard in Columbia, Tennessee, or check us out on Facebook.
Hello, my name is Zach Maddox. I'm a proud third-generation owner-operator of Columbia Paint and Wall Cover, founded by my grandfather, Ralph Maddox, in 1946. We offer a variety of paint and wall covering products, but our passion is customer service. We can offer many personalized services and can come out to your house or business if needed. Come visit us at our Columbia location or our new Spring Hill location behind Church of the City, or visit us online at paintcolumbia.com.
Del Kennedy. I am dude number 3. Dude number 2, Clayton Harris. Good morning.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning,
number
everybody.
1, Mr. Jim York. Good morning. Mr. York, you there?
Subway. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning,
Can you hear me?
Mr.
You can't get indicted throwing a Subway.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
You can't get indicted doing what?
Throwing a Subway.
Was it a foot long or a sawed off sandwich?
I think it was a foot long, Mike.
It enhances the penalty when it's a sawed off one.
Yeah.
Unless it's registered.
All right.
But you can get indicted for a ham sandwich.
We need to start registering.
The shooter is now in the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah. So, they need to make a law about that because when the individuals can't have deli sandwiches, only criminals will have deli sandwiches.
Native son, favorite son, Ron Hart.
Good morning.
Good morning. Regular special guest dude, Debbie Matthews. Good morning.
Good morning.
Son of Ron Hart, Jeb Hart. Good morning.
Good morning.
25 years, my colleague is Assistant United States Attorney, Mike Roden. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. College football is back this weekend.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. And let's see.
National nightmare is over.
So we got a Tennessee game and an Alabama game?
Yes, sir. We got Tennessee that'll be on 103.7 to be KRM this Saturday. Kickoff at 11 a.m. from Atlanta, taking on the Syracuse Orange, formerly known as the Syracuse Orange Men. They are now just the Syracuse Orange.
I'm glad they corrected that.
There you go.
Exactly.
Name team after Trump.
Crisis averted.
And then
What's Vanderbilt going to do this year, Del?
Oh, Mr. York.
They're going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
finish the stadium. I hope.
The thing about a Vanderbilt grad is we're good sports. We understand that we're not going to win.
You're not good enough to get mad. It's a
Take
good
a
spot
beating
to be
and
in.
keep on ticking, huh?
Football is a mystery inside a riddle inside an enigma. You never know.
Also on this station at 2:30, this 101.7 WKOM, 2:30 Saturday, you'll have the Alabama Crimson Tide kicking off their season against the Florida State Seminoles in Tallahassee, and you can catch that game right here. Also want to remind our listeners and viewers, tonight we have a Thursday night high school football game. Zion Christian Academy, located here in Columbia, travels down to Mount Pleasant. We'll have that broadcast tonight. Seth Campbell and crew will be on it.
Is that live streamed?
It'll be live streamed, yes, sir. And then before that, it's going to be part of a double header. Mount Pleasant Middle School takes on Battle Creek Middle School at Mount Pleasant. So Seth is going to cover that middle school game, followed by the high school game afterwards. And you can watch all that online. And, of course, tomorrow night, we're back at it again. You got Battle Creek on the road at Columbia Central. We'll have that game on the radio on 103.7 and also live streamed as well. And Spring Hill, we'll have this game. They travel down to Richland to take on the Raiders. It's a Raider versus Raider matchup on Highway 31 down in Giles County. That's tomorrow night as well. So we're looking forward to that, and we're excited.
Yeah, a big weekend. Football is back started.
Delk, I want to file charges against Ohio State for murder because they playing Grambling this weekend.
They got Texas this week, Mr. York. Then they got Grambling.
Grambling will get paid, though.
Yes, they will.
Well,
they get paid.
President Trump says that Chicago is a killing field, but has he ever been to a Bears game? I don't think so.
All right, but now, Debbie, I'm sorry. Speaking of holding parents responsible, though, California has now passed a law where if parents do not support the gender-affirming care for their children, whether that be surgery or pills or whatever, then the parents can be held accountable, and it's considered child abuse, and the child can be removed from the home and put in foster care.
Yep. That's.
I wonder if that's going to affect their $80 billion that they pay to the federal government every year.
What age is that on? Do you know? What age? Is there an age limit on that?
No, it's not. 18 and under,
When did they kick in?
And
Because
so-
here's the thing.
No,
Here's
it
the thing.
applies to 4-year-olds, Mike,
So there was a woman,
I
and
disagree
listen,
with
there
that.
was a woman in North Carolina, and I've told this story before, but I think it's worth repeating because I don't think y'all have really registered it. There was a woman in North Carolina that grew up identifying as a blind woman, and she purposely blinded herself, okay, because she says, I identify that way. So now she is blind. She is on public assistance, all of this, because she's blind. We look at that as it's a mental illness, right? Would you classify that as a mental illness? But somehow lobbing your breast off or other parts of your body is not a mental illness. I don't understand the difference. I truly don't.
There's several different versions. If you're an adult, you can get ridiculous face tattoo. You can do it. You want making decisions for others who are not capable of making them for themselves, especially when you indoctrinate them. That's a huge issue. Additionally, people who where this idea of this is where we draw the line because it's socially relevant. Like people were very upset with Rachel Dolezal for identifying as black. That was not okay to do, but this is completely socially acceptable because it's on that side of the narrative. Where we draw the line on it, and this was way more involved. She just got way too much spray tan. This is injecting kids with stuff. That's where people get confused as to where the line is on the identity that you would like to have or portray or how you feel about yourself.
John Irving, the novelist, was way ahead of this, I guess. If you ever read The World According to Garp or saw the movie, there was there's a thread in the book and in the movie about a group of women who identified with a rape victim who had her tongue cut out as part of the violence that was on her, and they identified with her, so they had their tongues cut out, and they were crazy, and they are, So I think, I think you can find crazy cases like that and say those people are crazy, but I think we're coming around. Science is coming around on gender dysphoria, rather. Excuse me, and being gay used to be classified in the mental health books as a mental illness. So we're coming around to this. I said we've always had these people. It's just now there's medical science has advanced where we can do something about it. Now I would agree that if you're once you're an adult, you can do anything you want to. You're an adult.
Right.
But for kids, I would say with parental consent, maybe at 16, because parents do know what's going on with the kid. But yeah, I would totally agree for anything younger than
kind of like a tattoo, Mike. A kid can't get a tattoo. So
what the Democrat Party makes it think it's a good idea to let kids 12, 8, 7, and some third-party teacher decide. That's an issue y'all need to get away from.
I don't know where that's happening at though, Ron.
California, Oregon. There's also, with the science catching up to a lot of, the Brits chemically castrated Alan Turing, the inventor of the modern computer, because they found out he was gay. And you have these, science and everything else changes. It used to be acceptable. Now the Brits and the English and the Scandinavian countries don't allow transition surgeries for children. When they were kind of the first ones to do it because of the social egalitarianism, their research showed that it wasn't actually helpful. There isn't a single metric that shows, outside of anecdotal, that it is beneficial long term to make those decisions, and the net positives outweigh the net negatives. But also the social contagion aspect.
Yeah, exactly.
Mass hysterias have been well known.
Right now,
there's the dancing ones where a bunch of these girls in, I think it was North Carolina or something in the 1700s, they went into a fit of dancing for weeks, and people thought they were possessed. But mass hysterias have a long history. It's not a new thing. And then once the social contagion, and once you get benefited societally on your marginalization class, you are incentivized to place yourself in said marginalization class. And if people have to agree with you, if I was a kid trying to game a system and I was like, I just get to say this, and you as a parent have to agree with me.
Right.
I would have done the business out of that.
Right. Well,
you're right, and that's why I would draw the line at 16 with parental consent. Because
right now, if you look at Hollywood,
you go through a lot as a kid, and you don't know what you are, and the media plays a big role in it. A lot of celebrity kids are transgender.
It's what I was going to say, Ron. Every celebrity has their trans child.
It's an empathetic group of people that gets a lot of, I don't know, it's something for attention. How about this? The New York Times just did an article detailing Donald Trump's administration called Donald Trump's Big Gay Government. And it listed 6 major Trump appointees who are gay. It goes down the list, which is pretty good, more than Biden, I guess. And if you guys are big about stuff like that, but he's got 6 major gays.
Track of how many gay people were in Biden's administration, but
not Bessie, the Treasury Secretary. You had Mayor Pete, I guess.
Well,
but they also said that gays make Trump look like a drag queen, which is not fair because Trump wears more makeup than drag queen.
No.
Well, I think
pretty good.
Trump
That's
was the very first one that appointed an openly gay person. That was Rick Grenell, who's now over the Kennedy Center, and brilliant guy.
Yeah.
This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about kids being shot up with drugs and hormones that are not able to clearly think anymore, and it's causing violence because they're feeding on that narrative of a victimhood. I just don't even know where to put this.
I think we've all made some good points. I agree with most of what Jeb said. And I agree, maybe we should study this. But I think demonizing an entire group of people because of the actions of some is wrong, no matter what the group is.
Well, I agree. I agree, Mike. But I think we have good cause to be more vigilant with regard to transgender people. But
and define demonize. I don't see the right demonize. They're just questioning whether a kid at 12 or 8 should be allowed by a teacher to mutilate their body. That's
I think the demonized aspect would say a transgender person shot up a school ipso facto. The rest of them are. I think
I don't want to demonize them if they're just
what I said. You demonize the demon, the human that did it, but not the. That's an unhealthy way to go about it. And this is, like I said in the first segment, was that people will make this about the talking point that they want to talk about the most, which is if you actually want to fix it, politicians will posture because it's this awful situation. So you can play heartstrings and be emotional, do this. If you actually want to fix it, figure out the root of the problem, find a practical way to fix it. Getting rid of all guns isn't a practical thing. It's not going to happen unless you change the Constitution. So
nobody is saying we should get rid of all guns.
Oh, I know, but there are people who are working that angle of it because they hate it and use this as another example. If you want to fix it, go back to DC versus Heller, which is also a scary thing to bring back up to this Supreme Court because it is a kind of interesting interpretation of the Second Amendment that doesn't mean all guns. It's just ones you would normally need. When a lot of people would say the only reason that we have the Second Amendment is to be able to overthrow a tyrannical government. So why would you limit it to not serious military weapons? It's a gray area, and I think deep down most Republicans are still like, that's a good idea to not have rocket launchers in the house, and don't want to reopen that.
I would hope so. Harold Ford Jr., who is on Fox every now and then, I thought he had a great quote yesterday. The common denominator is guns. At some level, the sanctity and misapplication of the Second Amendment can't supersede every conversation about the lives of our kids.
The common denominator, Mike, is mental illness, and countries that ban guns, they go after each other with knives and machetes.
Yes, that's
He was a member of the NRA at one time, Harold Ford was.
I think putting it down to a singular common denominator when there are multiple variables and multiple factors, and so I mean, I think that is guns not always about people done stabbings and all other stuff. But
I'm not gonna get rid of guns.
It's a much more nuanced
We'll be back
conversation.
next Tuesday, this time, this station.
As the easy access to guns. I think that's more the issue. Not guns themselves. I have guns.
Even the NRA are gun advocates. Mike, we're big on
Town
locking
Hall.
up guns.
I'm Rich Thomas.
That's big.
They hug each other. They wipe away tears. Mourners at last night's vigil. The two children killed, 17 people injured in the Minneapolis church school shooting. Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the gunman attacked as the youngsters were attending a service in the Annunciation Catholic School chapel.
During the Mass, a gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows